Yeah, so you finished up at so that was Munster, and then after that you got a gig in Italy.
Yeah, we. I was keen to go back to NZ.
Yeah.
I got a bit sick, homesick, but then I was like, oh. And then the chance of Italy lifestyle coming on with Irene, who's now Zebra.
Oh, is that,
Yeah,
I was trying to think.
Yeah, so so they just changed from Irene to Zebra. But yeah, I got a chance to have a crack with him, and I thought, it'd be good to. I'd regret it if I didn't go. Did the 2 years in a place called Viadana, which is 20 minutes from Parma, where now the Zebra team's located. And we enjoyed it there also. We really enjoyed it, myself and the missus. The first year it was just her and I. And I'll be honest, rugby was probably the farthest thing from our minds.
Because rugby's not that big in Italy,
It's
it's football,
It's all soccer.
Yeah.
It's all soccer. Some people haven't seen a rugby.
Yeah, so when you told people, like, was it nice being somewhere where people didn't know you?
Yeah, it was cool, but it was like for us. It was like I said, it was more of a, no disrespect to Irene, but it was more of a bit of a break from rugby.
A little bit that pressure, not really that pressure.
It's not the pressures of Munster where they're born to win.
Rugby's life. Rugby
is the number one goal. Whereas Italy, it's very, where we stayed was very Italian. It was very laid back. Lots of siestas, all that stuff.
Lots of pizzas, wine.
Aperitivos, all that stuff. I was like, oh. And then in the winter, in the summers, it was 40 degrees. In the winters, it was totally different, like 2-3 degrees. So we definitely made the most of that, lifestyle-wise, rugby-wise. It is what it is, man.
Did you play a lot there, or could you kind of play a little bit less so the body can heal a bit?
The first year I did, I played quite a bit. I was one of the marquee signings there, so I felt responsible to give it, give it all. I guess it was tough at times because no disrespect to my Italian people, but they're very strong-minded people. So you try to give a bit of advice, and it just gets, they like to roll it up and throw it back in your face. So yeah,
I lived in France.
There you go. You know all about it. So that was the first year. Played a lot of rugby. Try to play my part. And then the second year we fell pregnant to our oldest child, and then everything just changed. We're like, okay, let's. Sorry, that coincided with me having another shoulder operation at the back end of the first season. And then I guess we kind of looked, beyond that second year, rugby-wise. Should we go back to New Zealand? Should we look elsewhere? Because, like I said, you probably know as well, the language barrier was quite big for us.
Yeah, and Italy it's different. It's France is kind of similar. Some of it you can take from Spain, a little bit like that. Italy that's a real tough level.
But even like water. Like I remember when I go order some water. They don't want to help. Like if you don't speak Italian, they're not going to help you. They're like, okay, so you're trying to point at the water bottle, and then you're trying to, and he's like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
So you a few beeps here and there, and you eventually get it. But they just, it's just how they are. There's no animosity towards them, but we enjoyed our time there, like I said. But once we felt pregnant, Tiliana was like, okay, let's get back on the straight and narrow.
Had 2 years.
Yeah,
it's a good lifestyle.
But it was awesome, man. We still got lifelong friends there. We had friends that came to our wedding.
Who were some of the foreign boys there?
Foreign boys. That's a good one. We had a few South African boys. Olivia Nasa-Olivier, he was one. France Lewin. I'm trying to think of some that are still playing. I know what I mean. James Marshall.
Yeah,
James Marshall. He was
there.
He was there.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, he was there. Is it Hurricane? Is he still playing or is he finished now? He was at Hurricanes when he left.
I think he might have recently retired.
Yeah, I think he only recently retired. Yeah, so he was I'm trying to think of some names, but yeah, there weren't very many household names, if that makes sense. But yeah, like I said, it was Siki. We've got friends there. Like Jim has been back and forth a few times to go and visit them. Yeah, it'll always hold a special time.
Is it kind of linked with the mafia? Or?
Sorry, brotherhood, 100%. Like, I don't know if I can say this, but we went out one night, and our friends were in the front car, and we were in the back car, and they went. We were at there was the roundabout, so they were going right.
Yeah.
And this car come around, and went over the middle lane.
Yeah.
So then hit our friends head on.
What?
But lucky it was at the roundabout, so the cars had all slowed down.
Yeah.
So we'd seen this because we were all in the back car.
Mm.
So our guy's going right. He's coming around, and he comes over the middle line, whatever they call it, and hit our mate straight on. Apparently there was a casualty in their car. But yeah, so this all happened, and literally in 5 minutes, there was 2 Range Rovers, 2 or 3 black Range Rovers turned up, boom, put us all in the Range Rovers, and we got in the Range Rovers, and our manager for the team, so his name was Scar, was his name.
Oh.
He was like, okay, we take you where you want to go, because we were on our way to town.
Yeah.
And we were all like, everyone was a bit shook up. So like, oh no, Scar, we'll just go back home. We're like, what about our cars? He goes, oh, don't worry, we have a car for you in the morning when you go home. We wake up in the morning and there's a brand new car outside our house. So I knew from there, I was like, these guys are pretty gangster.
Old school.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Old school family.
Especially got a name like Scar.
Yeah. I think one of the boys plays in Italy. I think he was saying as well they were getting like cash payments from this guy who was dressed up in a whole suit, like all one piece, like old school gangster suits. So just had envelopes. It was just like.
That's why you don't want to ask questions, eh?
Yeah,
if it's short, you go, oh, grazie mille.
Yeah.
So just do those ones.
And then from there you went to Ulster. Is that where your coach?
Yeah. So people probably know.
They know about Cowboy.
Yeah, Cowboy. Yeah. So Mark Anscombe, he was my first professional coach. He was my coach at Harbour. So I knew Cowboy before I knew Gareth. And then he caught wind that I'd finish in Italy and I was gonna go back to New Zealand to because I was in the position of signing for the Blues back in New Zealand. And then he's like, no, you're gonna come up here and to Belfast. But in my head I was thinking, oh man, I had a tough time down in Munster.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, so
when you say you had a tough time,
it just didn't work for me. Do you know?
Oh yeah, so
it just didn't work. And then I was like, oh, I want to go back to Ireland. So, and then I was just like, you know what? Because we were off for like 3 months or something, and I went back to NZ and did a New Zealand pre-season.
With the Blues?
No, just with my old Blues trainer, Mark Harvey. He wasn't training the Blues anymore. So I went back there and did the old school Super Rugby pre-season on the line. The yo-yos.
Is that after Italy? So
after Italy,
you come back. You had it easy. You had it pretty easy there.
So all the wine and the prosciutto, everything just came out that 2.5 months. But then that was probably the game breaker. That was because then I'd like to think when I went to Ulster, along with the way Cowboy coached, I probably played some of my best rugby in my career up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. And you were there for 4 years.
4 years, and then. We had some great memories. Like I said, we got some lifelong friends. We got married there.
There's a big rivalry with Munster and Ulster.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Yeah. Is it far from each other?
If you drive, probably about 5-6 hours.
Oh, okay. So
it's not like New York, LA.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean, Os? But yeah, I look.
Did they look at you a bit funny, the Munster supporters, like?
Yeah, well, it was because I had such a bad time at Munster.
Yeah.
I didn't have a good rep, on the field. I was just injured, didn't play well. So yeah, I knew I had to please a lot of people in Belfast, and I'd like to think I did. I put everything into it. I came over to Belfast early because of pre-season, and and Gemma and Diana had to stay back in New Zealand for about 2.5 months. So
Oh,
you know, that was tough. So I knew, you know, this is be all end all. I'm sacrificing my time away from my family.
yeah.
And like I said, I'd like to think I turned a few heads.